An ultramarathon, an extreme endurance event longer than the standard 26.2-mile marathon. These grueling competitions take place all over the world, challenging even the fittest athletes. The Caballo Blanco Ultramarathon in Mexico is particularly unique. It allows participants to run alongside the Rarámuri people, an indigenous people known for running in tire-made huaraches. It's been a dream of mine for a long time to run this race, and the adventure I had doing so was next level. I'm not exactly an avid runner, but I signed up and started training. It was tough to find time to run. We travel a lot. Merry Christmas Eve! And have 3 little pequeños, busy schedules. My first trail run ever was at La Cuesta Ranch in January. The crazy part was that the race was actually organized by Luis Escobar, who I later found out was part of the group that ran the very first Caballo Blanco race. He's also the photographer who took the iconic photos associated with the race, including the cover of the book, Born to Run. The book wasn't the main reason I wanted to run this race. My dad is from Cuauhtémoc, Chihuahua, Mexico, and it's rumored that we have Rarámuri blood in our veins. So running alongside the Rarámuri in Mexico and connecting with that part of myself was always something that I wanted to do. The question was, with all that I had going on in my life, would I be able to do it?
Good morning. Dos más días.
I just want to know where everyone's from. Woohoo! Tenemos algunos de Italia, ¿verdad? From Italy, from New York, Tennessee, Argentina, Germany, LA, and New Zealand in the house. Woohoo! We're ready to go. And California. The San Isidro Lodge was about an hour and a half away from Urique, where the race was. After we got there, we explored and checked into our rooms. We were told that this is where Arnulfo Guimare and Miguel Lara would often come to hang out. The next morning we made our way down the windy dirt road, riding adventure style with some really amazing friends from the Netherlands, who would later become like family.
video from Urique. You're watching the little kids race. Eso! Corre, corre, corre!
I truly loved every minute of being in Urique. There was the best energy, everyone was getting excited for the race. We got to meet the famous Mama Tita. And eat some of her insanely delicious guacamole. We're in line to get our number for the race. Our bib. The Raramuri are exempt from entry fees for the race, and they receive food in exchange for the bracelets that every runner gets at each checkpoint. Many traveled far from distant villages to participate, carrying the mats they would sleep on the night before.
So our friends from Netherlands are going to join us in this race. This guy totally last minute. He's like, yeah, I'll run. And then he convinced Brian. And Brian's like, yeah, I'll run. That's the biggest one they got, babe. Gracias. It's the night before the big race. I'm in bed, ready to go to sleep. This guy decided today that he's gonna run. So he's getting ready. Are you ready to go to sleep?
Not yet.
Caballo Blanco, 4 a.m. tomorrow. It's finally time. Let's do it.
I wanted to sleep so bad, but I just couldn't. The more I told my body to go to sleep, the more it refused. I was actually really relieved when 4 a.m. finally rolled around.
We're at the start line. Oh my goodness, this is happening. There's Chris. You ready? Ready. You ready? Look at it. Represent. Hello, Mexico. Let's go. Listos. Para qué?
Puedes a correr libre, estamos en huella, vámonos, vámonos a este aniversario.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
After studying the course, I mentally divided it into 3 parts. The warm-up, the first big climb, and the main chunk, the super challenging effort. The first part of the race went really well. I had learned in previous long distance runs that I can't start too fast, and I was super proud of myself for setting a smart, steady pace.
Muy bien, vamos, vamos, esto, vamos, yeah.
Made it to the first stop. This beautiful little village. My Katie tape. This guy. This guy.
second part of the race had the steepest climb, and even though it was brutal, I still felt good.
Y ya está la medalla. Gracias, jóvenes, por la ayuda, Qué chingones son.
Holy crap, that was intense. But how is this paradise at the top of that insane climb? I keep seeing like parrots flying everywhere. Mira. These big green birds just flying around everywhere. It's crazy. Found some party people from Chihuahua. Los locos de Chihuahua.
Para Nuevo México.
Not even halfway. This is amazing. Mira, mira nuestras amigas, nos hicieron gorditas.
Gorditas para las gorditas.
¡Hey, mira, mi amiga! My goodness. Videos don't do it justice.
Con el número 97, Amanda Quintana de USA.
I passed through Urique where Brian and friends were, stopped for a sec, ate, then continued on to start the third long out and back challenge. It got hot.
¡Wow! ¡Qué hermosura! ¡Carlos! Ahí vamos.
I was drinking and eating, but after I crossed the bridge and started that incredibly steep mountain, I started feeling super nauseous. I held it back for as long as I could, but eventually I threw up. Then I threw up again. I would take 10 steps forward and throw up again. Somehow I dragged myself up to the turnaround checkpoint. I was sure that I would be able to finish the race even if I just walked the rest of the way. My plan was to rest here at the checkpoint for about half an hour and then start walking to the finish. I would walk the rest of the way if I had to. I had plenty of time. But a half hour turned into 45 minutes and then an hour, and I still felt awful and I still hadn't left the checkpoint.
They want me to ride a horse down because I'm really dizzy and I keep throwing up. So embarrassing.
The medics tried to convince me to ride a horse down the mountain. But after throwing up again, I insisted I felt better. And I started walking. They followed behind me with a horse just in case. And it's a good thing too, because we found another runner who needed it. But after they put him on, he passed out and fell off. Meanwhile, I started feeling super weak and nauseous. It was really hard to walk. Finally, I realized I wasn't going to finish this race. I can't describe the disappointment I felt. Ugh. I was so frustrated. I felt embarrassed. I felt like a failure. It was the worst feeling. It was getting dark and my fingers were turning purple. And we had to keep stopping so I could throw up. When we were almost to the main road, I looked up and I saw Brian running up the trail towards us. He carried me the rest of the way to the ambulance. I have so many mixed emotions about this experience. It kills me that I didn't finish. Could I have pushed through all that craziness my body was going through and made it to the end? Despite all that frustration though, it was seriously an unforgettable, incredible experience. We met amazing people. I met local indigenous people who shared their life stories with me as we hiked the ancient trails together. The Raramuri were kind, humble, incredibly resilient, and beautiful people. The team who helped me down the mountain was so amazing. They took such good care of me. heroes who would become like family in the remote depths of the Barrancas of Mexico. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to my friends who helped me. The humanity and kindness I experienced is far more important than any glory of crossing a finish line. Thank you, Ulrike, for such an incredible experience. My goal was the finish line. My reward was the journey. Middle of the Copper Canyon, surrounded by beautiful canyons, amazing people.
No.
So we just got back from Mexico. We just got here to New Mexico to pick up the kiddos. They were staying at the ranch here with their grandparents. And apparently...
Bria's asleep.
apparently they've all been sick. Yeah. All three of them have been throwing up.
Throw up. Mommy throw up.
Yeah, Mommy threw up on the trail.
Daddy throw up.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
Cousins...
Sorry, Mom.
It's okay. Cousins were throwing up. My brother was throwing up. My parents aren't feeling well. My sister-in-law is throwing up. So it very well could be that a virus, right, Haniko? We're thinking that Mommy might have had a virus on the trail.
Maybe me too.
Maybe you too.
Same one.
Probably the same one, because I felt fine. I felt like I could run still. I'm not even sore. My muscles felt strong. But I just started throwing up on the trail, and then I got crazy dehydrated after throwing up. So maybe that's what happened, huh, Nico? We don't know, but it's a bummer, but we're happy to be back together, aren't we?
Pulling your finger out.